Okay, so this is going to be my first attempt at a voiceover, so we're going to test and see how this works. Um, I'm starting over my Stationeers Vulcan mode because I wasn't happy with the way it was going. I didn't die yet, but I was pretty sure I was going to have some huge issues in the next couple days. So I've been spending time trying out different things. Um, and I was recording the videos, but I wasn't narrating them because literally I probably did 10 before I was happy with the way it went. So this is the one that I thought was the last one I did, and I thought it would work out the best. So we're going to go ahead and run this, and I'm going to narrate it. Again, I'm doing Vulcan in the Stationeer Brutal mode. Now, the first day is such a big deal. You got to do everything right. Plan ahead and do three things at once sometimes. You notice as I'm landing, I'm rearranging all my folders and opening everything up, even putting some stuff away. And then as soon as it comes out, the first thing I do is I look for where's my air tank, and they're right next to each other. The crate and air tank, the first time that I did this, they happened to be right next to each other. I had quite a few times where the air tank fell in a crater. And I'm like, well, gee, thanks. All right. So I start this one, and this is different than the one that I did before. And like I said, I experimented over and over. So I do a 4x8 base area. I'm sorry, 4x2, 8 total. And then I frame in the back two sections of it. And I don't put anything there because that's where my door hatch is going to be. And like I said, I do all this, and this works out pretty well because, as you can see, it leaves me one frame, which I can use to close up the room until I get a door. And then, as fast as I can, again, timing is everything, I close out my room. Not much to narrate here. But like I said, as you're doing this, I'm thinking ahead. Okay, what am I going to do here? Because I got to get this all done. And here we go. Now at this point, I find it best to bring everything inside. And I don't have enough hands, so I end up just throwing this inside the room because I don't like messing with it. Now, I got to go mine 60 iron. Seems to work best whenever I do this. So I'm running around. I find a good iron bank back here. This is like a huge sigh of relief when I find this, because it actually gives me enough iron that I'm done in a split second, which is amazing. They already got 50. I only need one more iron, and then I'm done. So that went really fast. So there's my 60 iron. Now I can run back. That's all I need for the first day. Let's grab my oxygen tank. Grab my case. I actually bring this inside. This works best. I've tried this a few times, and to have everything right in front of you, it's a cluttered mess for a little bit, but that works out best. Now I want to open up my two, and you can see I'm making little mistakes, but that's okay. I want to open up my two packages. I just dump them on the floor, and I want to get the solar panel hooked up, so I grab both. This is something that I've learned. Grab the solar panel and the glass. There's so many times that I've run up with the solar panel and had to go back down with the glass. And all those little things just make you take more time. It's a real pain. And I get this wired up nice and quick. And I just set it down through the frame there. And then babble around a little bit trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Wasting time. Now you see, here's my first mistake. I kind of like narrating afterwards. I put it on upside down. I'm going to be providing power to the solar panel the way I have it hooked up. And I catch that mistake a little bit later. And I'm like, oh, that's a good waste of time. But now I'm going to run wire out because I want to put the arc welder out here. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, I had to do for the first time, I had to stop somebody from commenting. They were just putting on comments. They obviously weren't watching my video. They were just putting on these really long comments. And if they would have just watched the video and waited a little bit or listened to the video, I discussed a lot of the stuff they put in the comments. And I think they were just trying to be a little bit of a pain, kind of annoying. A lot of his comments were okay, but I mean, and here's where I don't know. Why don't I have power? I put it on backwards. And right now I'm kind of cussing at myself in the background. You idiot. So a quick flip. And stick the battery back in. That was a 30-second waste of time, which you really don't have time for. Okay, let's get that going. Now, there's something I'm doing different that I like. If I can get my thoughts organized here. I just want to get that out of my hands. And if you notice, here's another little mistake. I mounted that backwards. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that don't look right. Ah, crap. Here goes another 15 seconds. Fixed. Okay. Here's what I'm doing different. I'm actually putting the autolathe inside my 4x4 room. And this really works out nice. It allows me to do stuff at night that I couldn't do before. And I accidentally grabbed these iron sheets here instead of the plastic ones, which are behind me. I'm looking, they're behind me. Oh, there they are. So there we go. And I start wiring this up before I use the screwdriver, but again, not a big deal. There it is. So this is a quick wire up job. Works out nice in that position because it doesn't use many cables and the power setting is right there. Now I'm like, okay, put the iron in. Oops. I don't have the iron yet. It's still out here. Okay. 50 iron is all I need on the first day. I did a lot of runs. And if you try and make more iron, you either leave the autolathe or the arc furnace on and you waste a lot of power, or you spend too much time and the day comes and you end up cooking yourself. So, pipes. That's the first thing I make. I want about 15 total pipes, so I'm just going to let that run. Here we go. Multitasking. Very important. I'm usually trying to do two things at once at the first day. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do next? You just don't have time to mess around. And here, this landed right where I want to put the wire. And I'm like, you stupid thing. Made it twice as hard. So I want 4 pipes to start with. And I want them out here. I think it's 4 that I end up using. 1, 2. I could not get a pipe to burst no matter how hard I tried. I know a lot of people told me, gave me advice on that. Now, see, all my work outside is done. This is a big step. I'm just picking up the pipes because they're making a lot of noise in the background, which I'm sure you can hear. But I'm welding this up because it's getting to be daytime. I don't need to do anything else outside. Got my pipe to hook up. Let's turn that out. Let's suck the hot air out of here. And then doing that as soon as you can saves you so much oxygen and waste tank I need 10 more. I think that's probably the last one. So I go with that. Now this is a little cluttered, but now I'm already kind of out of panic mode because I'm waiting for the temperature to get to 0. It's currently, there's no pressure in here, but the temperature is still 213. So I don't turn that off until I see nil in the temperature. And put the battery, let's charge things up. I think that's why it wasn't going down, because I think that battery was dead. I really didn't notice that until I did the after, and there you see the temperature is now nil. So I can turn that off. And now I'm starting to think, okay, I gotta wire up stuff because I gotta get my batteries all good to go. And of course the solar, and I missed it. I think I missed it twice actually. Yep, I missed it twice. Here I am cursing at myself again, like, you idiot. Take your time. There you go. All right. Now I start thinking I got to do some battery charging, but I'm noticing that the battery isn't even charging yet because the solar hasn't kicked in. Now, planning ahead again. Where am I going to put the, and it's obviously kind of crowded in here, but I fix that later. I want to get rid of that little dirt pile because it's annoying. And I got time now, so there's no panic here, even though I kind of am still panicking. And this is where I'm going to put my waste air and my oxygen air when I start doing that. I do not do that on the first day. I didn't see a need to. But there you go. And I'm looking around. This thing is a pain in the neck. Eventually, I just deconstruct this and make a locker. And that's iron that I didn't plan on spending, but it just got to be too crazy. Still not charging. But I want to make a frame because I can't use, well, I don't have any left, but I only had that one frame left, but I need another one. And I got time. So, and I got to move that again. And here's where I say, you know what? You're in the way. I'm just going to deconstruct you. Get out of the way. Now I have a bunch of little parts, but it's not taking up as much room. And I got to move those before I can put my frame in there. So it does take a little bit of time, but I'm inside in zero pressure. So it doesn't matter at this point. I have the time. Now I am wasting power. Something I could have turned off the auto lathe. I'm looking at that dark spot, wondering if there's something in there, but I think it's just some dirt that's left over. Getting a little bit more organized. Turn my light off, save some power. Okay, that's all done. So now I'm thinking, even though I'm looking at my tank, I'm like, wow, that's the lowest that's ever been in any of these games that I played in this setting. Because it worked out so well how this, doing it this way worked. But I'm still going to drain my waste tank because obviously if I go outside in the heat, I'm going to have to drain it. So I wasn't sure if I got that one, so I did it again. All right, so that's wired up. So now I'm going to pop open my exhaust tank, set that to the right mode. My waste tank, I should say. Of course, that raises the temperature to 70. I want 0, so I'm going to suck all that into that pipe network there. I have to wait till the temperature gets to nil. There's no pressure, but the temperature is still 70. I don't like doing that. I wait to get to nil before I turn it off. There we go. Don't reverse it. Turn it off. Done that a few times too in experimenting. So I'm just going to put this back over here because this is the next place I'm going to use it. Alright, now I'm starting to say, well, I might as well refill my oxygen tank because, again, I don't have, there's no rush now.
Air tank critical.
So I can take my time and do things correctly. And around here is where I start tripping over things, and I'm like, you know what? I should have turned that off earlier, but now it's time to think about battery charging. So I want to check all my tools and make sure my batteries are where I want them. Put that one in my suit and put the lower one there. That's the big one. So I wanted that one to charge. Now I like putting, it seems better. I don't know if it actually is, but I like putting the small batteries in the power controller because they charge faster. And once they're charged, I'm done with that. I can put it in my backpack and hang on to it. I like to keep all the full batteries. And here I have these 2 extra pipes. I said, well, I might as well expand these. I don't need pipes anymore. So I just expand those. Checking batteries. Spent a lot of time in the first couple of days doing battery work. Now I'm thinking, well, I could put the large battery in there now by clicking on it, clicking on it, clicking on it. There we go. And that battery's done. And I said, well, I might as well keep my suit battery charged, so let's swap out that one that's at 85 and put that in there and keep it charged. Now this does charge really slowly, but it is going up. As you'll see here, it goes to 80. There you go. So now I'm satisfied. Now I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with all this mess? I can throw this stuff out. And I don't need the case. I can throw that out. I'm trying to declutter, but my hands are full. So finally I break down and I'm like, you know what? I need a locker. And I do that in a few minutes. I'm finally fed up with the mess. And basically now I'm just waiting. My first day chore list is done. And basically the chore list ended with bring in the air tank and make 15 pipes. And then put the pipes up. So now I'm just working on finishing all the battery work. And I'm still trying to find hands. And this is where I'm like, I have no hands. I really don't want to drop my pill yet, just in case. And, okay, I got no hands. What am I going to do about this? Nope, no room there. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not panicking at this point because I know my day is kind of done. And around here is where I finally say, you know what? I need a locker pretty soon here. That battery does get to 99 before the end of the day, but it never goes to 100. It only goes to 99, so it's still pretty darn good. It's not that big of a deal. I muted my throat clear there. Here's where I finally say, you know what, let's make a locker. And I try it with one, and I just don't make any of the sizes with one, so I end up going with a full-size locker. Yeah, I'm experimenting here. I can't do that one because I need 2. All right, what else you got? Well, that's awful darn small. I don't like a shelf. But finally I say, you know what, I'm going to make another one. That uses 10 iron that I didn't plan on using, but that's okay because I got to do a little bit of mining in the morning anyway. I want to get at least, and here I'm trying to go back, and I finally realized I got to go back to number 1, so I'm looking down 7, 8, oh yeah, 9, 1. There it is. So I throw that in the corner over there, and then I start putting all this junk, well, not junk, I need all that. Trying to figure out how to pick things up without opening them. I just want to declutter the place a little bit, and I have time to do this, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. Now, a lot of this stuff I'm not going to need, but instead of wasting time throwing it out, I'm just going to put it in here for now. And that's pretty much it. Checking the batteries again. Okay. Might as well recharge the suit battery. Although now at this point, nothing's charging. As you can see, it's not flashing blue anymore. I didn't realize that. And here I'm going to do the drink the water real quick with the open helmet. Close my helmet, because if you waste time doing that in this mode, in Stationeers Brutal mode, you'll end up hurting your lungs real quick. You got to do this as fast as you can.
Pressure critical. Oxygen critical.
All right, that part's done. So here's where I finally realized that nothing's charging anymore, so I might as well just keep the suits where the batteries where I am. Now I'm like, okay, I can't leave that pipe there, because when I open up the frame again, it's going to let hot air in there, so I have to enclose that. And I'm like, yeah, let's put it in the locker. It's a good spot for it. Because I can't use that one. I need that to plug that back in. And I'm thinking about welding that, but if you weld inside, you really pop the heat up. So I turn that on first, because when I opened my helmet, it didn't let any pressure out, but it raised the temperature to 19, which is really strange. So I didn't know if that was going to affect anything or not, so I just left that on until it went back to nil. And kind of killing time at this point, because I literally don't have a lot to do. And that's it for day one. So there you go. That went really smoothly. And I'm going to do some testing for day two, and we'll continue it from there.